Welcome to the Voices of the Goddess podcast. We believe that there is a goddess inside each and every one of us. When we use our voice to share that goddess, we support and uplift each other. Join us each week as we interview women to receive the message of their goddess within. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Voices of the Goddess podcast, where we empower, inspire, and uplift women to be the goddesses they were meant to be. I am your co-host, Julietta, also known as the Magical PT, coming to you from sunny Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And when I'm not podcasting, I am a physical therapist, and I'm here in my private practice where I work very holistically, looking not just at your body, but your mind and soul as well. And additionally, I'm an artist. I do paintings. I create jewelry with the gifts of Mother Earth. I work with gemstones and crystals. And I'm joined by my lovely co-host, Allison.
Hello, everybody. And sorry for those of you viewing us on YouTube. I keep looking over to the side. I've got puppies. So I keep sounds like one of them was getting into something. I had to make sure he was behaving himself. So my name is Allison Mancini. I'm excited to be here today. I also live in South Florida, just outside of Fort Lauderdale. But I'm originally a Michigander, been down here since 1993. We actually moved down. Did I ever tell you that? We moved down the February after Hurricane Andrew. And we didn't have any comprehension of what a hurricane was. And so it was a really big deal because, Andrew decimated all of Miami, Homestead, all of that. We couldn't even wrap our heads around it. We were like, oh, okay. And now that I've been through it, I'm like, oh my gosh, that was so traumatic. Anyway.
Well, when you look at because I moved down in 94.
Right. After that.
In 94, you could, because I moved to South Miami, which was the part that was worst hit.
Yeah.
There was still so much rubble from it.
Yeah.
And that was 2 years after.
Yeah.
So, we've lived through how many hurricanes now?
Gosh.
It's hurricanes come in.
Yeah.
Deal. But when you see, it gives you an idea of how that
I'll never forget, when it finally hit for me after that was we were going down to the Keys for a trip. And as you drove down the turnpike and went down through, you go down through that area. And it was just everything was just flattened, all the trees like that. I was like, oh, that's what this is all like. And then it kind of clicks and you go, oh my gosh. So, okay, I totally digress. It's all good. Anyway, so here we are in South Florida, originally Michigander. I am married to an amazing guy, my husband, Nick. We've been married for 28 years. I have two children, 25-year-old son and a 22-year-old daughter. And I have two fur babies, two puppies, one that's a year old and one that's 10 weeks. I might have lost my mind slightly, but it's all good. And I am a human resources director for a company called The Goal, Goal, Digger Girl. And we really just help women to show up authentically on social media, help them with their marketing. And then I am also a functional nutritionist. And that's really where my passions lie, is not only supporting women in my role at The Goal Digger Girl, but supporting them from a holistic functional nutrition standpoint, where making sure that they're taking care of themselves from everything that they eat. Just like Julietta said, mind, body, and soul. We want to make sure that they're taking care of themselves in every possible way. So I'm excited to be here today because we have a new sponsor. Well, I'm always excited to be here on our interviews, but today is really super special because we have our own mugs now. And we're there you can see it good, Julietta. Look at that. It's so pretty, isn't it? I love it. Our own Voices of the Goddess mug. So let me tell our audience about our sponsor, aliciaboatengdesigns. She is a celebrity cup designer. She has been seen on, to name a few, Today Show with Hoda and Jenna, Reader's Digest, Forbes, Food Network, ABC, Fox, and MSN, Your California Life, Gift Shop Magazine, Sheen Magazine, and Lifestyle Magazine. Alicia is a mother of 4. She's a wife and a passionate coffee lover. Alicia is a former wedding planner and has always been an exceptional creative individual. She turned an ordinary coffee cup into an extraordinary, dazzling, and empowering vessel that speaks volumes to women of all colors all over the world. And we love our mug, Alicia. Thank you. It is beautiful, and it makes my tea and my coffee feel extra special when I drink it.
I swear it tastes better coming out. And this episode, I've switched to water. You know, we record 4 episodes at a time, and I've had enough tea for one day.
I'm on the very end of coffee.
Yeah. So I'm on water now because I've had enough coffee and tea for today. But I swear everything tastes better out of this mug. It's just so spectacular.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop her website too in here on the
you
comments.
Have to test them out because and in person they look even more fantastic than virtually here. But also, we're going to be doing a giveaway for these mugs. We have a couple to give away. So if you join us in our Circle of Goddesses group on Facebook, we'll soon be posting what you need to do to qualify to be in the running to win this mug. And we will shortly have them available for sale on the website. They're not there yet, but they are coming. So if you need to get your own Voices of the Goddess mug, there are opportunities coming forth.
Yes. And I would just encourage everybody to go check out her website, because aside from our beautiful mug, there are many, many amazing, beautiful mugs on there for everything you can think of, holidays, causes you want to support. She makes a breast cancer awareness mug that's beautiful. They're gorgeous. They're gorgeous.
There's lots to choose from. So what I want to talk about today is, and I'm thinking you might experience this in your nutrition realm as well, where people think that when they have a problem, they just have to do one thing to fix it. And our human body requires continuous maintenance. It's designed to take care of itself, but the problem is that we do all these things to it that beat it up, and you got to take care of it. And the example I always use for people is, think about your car. You don't just drive your car off the lot and then never do anything. You have to keep putting gas in the tank. You have to keep air in your tires and keep the tires balanced, and you got to rotate them, and you got to get tune-ups. And there's always this stuff that you continually do. Some stuff you do on a weekly basis, some stuff you do on a monthly basis, some stuff you do on a yearly basis. But you don't just expect that your car is going to run automatically forever and ever. Well, some people try and do that, and they end up with their car broken down on the side of the highway. It's the same thing with our human bodies. And if we don't, unless you're like living in a plastic bubble where nothing is happening to you and nothing is affecting your body negatively, you're going to have to do things to tune it up. And there's lots of ways to do it and take care of it. I always tell people, my way is not the only way, but the important thing is that you do something on a regular basis. And, Allison, you've come to me and you've gotten your body balanced, but it doesn't just stay balanced because you go out and you live life. And so you need to come back again. Hint, hint.
We were just talking about this last night. No, it's true. I mean, it's the same thing that goes for whether you're looking at it from your perspective or nutrition perspective. Yeah, you can have those nights where you go out and you have that big chocolate cake at dessert and you eat fried food, whatever, but you'll pay for it, and you need to rebalance and get yourself back in and give it good nutrition. Is the same thing. I was just telling Julietta, I was complaining to her yesterday. I'll just fess up since you're calling me out. I was complaining because I have an issue on one foot and I have an issue on the other knee. And when my body's out of balance, I can tell because they both start bothering me and they hurt, and I'm not able to do all the things that I want to do. So I know that if I just go see Julietta, she will balance me out and I will be much better. I just am being stubborn. So there you go. I'll just say it.
All right. Should we bring our guest on?
We should.
All right.
Okay. Hello, Emily. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. We are excited to have you. And speaking about bodies, why don't you tell our audience a bit about you and what you do?
Absolutely. So my name is Emily Lauren Dick, and I am the author of a book called Body Positive, A Guide to Loving Your Body, which is a self-help guide filled with journal prompts, information about body image, quotes from real women that I interviewed, and also unedited images of those women that I photographed.
I was taking a look at it before we got on live today, and I was like, this looks like a great book. And I think for really any age, because there's, whether it's young girls having body image, I mean, I know women that are older than me that have body image issues.
Yeah. So the thing is, we wrote it for young women, but I have had so many women of all ages saying that the content really just applied to them, and they've never felt this way or felt this understood until they actually read and sort of started to understand how body image works.
Mm-hmm. That's so cool. So important and so needed, especially in this day and age. We were talking with a previous guest on one of our interviews about, I have kids that are 22 and 25, and my 22-year-old is a girl, and what they see on social media every day. My son actually made this comment to me back when he was like 16 or 17. We were having a conversation about what people have and people that don't have and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, Mom, you don't understand. He's like, it's in front of our faces every single day, day in and day out, of all these people that have all these things. And the sad part about that is that most of the time it's not even true. And they're not necessarily even happy because they have those things. And, and it's the same thing goes for body image. Like, you can see this beautiful, what maybe one person would think is like this amazing model looking body, but that doesn't necessarily mean she's got it all and happy and right. So
exactly. Yeah, and our society prioritizes the look, the perfection over everything else. And like you said, not just the physical body, but how we live our lives, right? We have to appear like everything is so perfect, that we're, never changing, that we're never having hard times and things like that. So we really need to normalize humanity, our realness.
Yeah. Yes, we talk about that often. Like, we get one of the comments we get from people is like, I'm afraid to come on your show. I've never done this before. And we're like, who cares? Like, we want to be real. Like, we've had dogs barking in the background. I've had to get up and go deal with a puppy. I mean, it's life. It's life. Yeah, it's totally life. And I think we need to see more of that.
Think about how many women don't want to do our show because we do go live on YouTube. So you can see it.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, if it was only audio, maybe I would do it, but I don't want to be in front of the camera. I'm like, we come in front of the camera. Sometimes we have makeup on. Sometimes we don't. Yeah. Sometimes my hair is styled. Sometimes it is just what it is. Sometimes I forget to even put on a nice shirt. And I'm like, really? I wore that to be on camera today? Oh, well. It's
sometimes we have our nice backgrounds. Sometimes we forget.
Exactly. You can do whatever you want.
Right. Yeah.
It's all about being real. So,
yes.
All right. Well, we got questions to dive into, Emily. So I'm going to ask you the first question, which is, what is one book that you wish every goddess would read, and why?
Well, other than my book, Body Positive, the most recent book that's really inspired me down the path that I'm on right now is a book called Light is the New Black by Rebecca Campbell. It's just really empowering, and I felt like it was speaking directly to me and my journey. And it's really just about being authentically yourself and spreading your light around. And I think that's a great message. And, we all need that that push to keep going and to be loud and make a difference and make our change and make our mark on this world.
That reminds me of that, if you've seen that meme that says, let your weirdo light shine bright so that
exactly
the other weirdos can
other
find
people will be inspired because of how you act by being yourself. And we're not going to be for everyone else. We can't please everyone. We need to please ourselves first, and the right people will be attracted.
Absolutely. All the time I say, I'm not for everybody. There are people that don't like me. And I laugh. The people that love me, they're like, what do you mean? I think everybody loves you. And I'm like, you'd be surprised. I'm definitely not for everybody. Yeah. And the more authentic that you can be, the people that are attracted to you are going to be people that you're really going to. I talk to people who are like hanging out with people they don't like just because they don't want to be alone. And it's like, you realize that you're with those people because you're trying to be someone that you're not. If you are your true self, you're going to attract that tribe of people that you want to be around.
Exactly. And you'll be happier because of it.
Very cool. I saw that book, like, maybe I was like looking for other stuff on Amazon, but it passed through and I was like, oh, that looks interesting, but I did nothing. So now I might be inspired.
You should. It was great. And she's written a couple other ones after it that I'm starting to read now as well. And I had seen someone on Instagram post that they had read it and I went and bought it, and that's how it works. But I loved it. And I'm so happy that I came across it.
Yay. All right. Our second question is, because in general, as women, we're always caring for other people. We tend to neglect ourselves. It is super important for us to do things to take care of ourselves. So what is your favorite self-care practice and how does it support you?
I think for me, self-care is really whatever makes you feel good, whatever recharges you. And sometimes the type of recharging we need is different, right? So sometimes I need to be around my family eating pizza and watching movies. And then other times I just need like complete solitude, quiet, alone time, listen to music, do a little writing, journaling, things like that. And those are the things that really I find fill my cup. And there, it doesn't have to be about fancy bubble baths and spa days and whatnot. But those are the small things that really work for me and that I can incorporate more often than not.
Yeah, I think it's really important to listen to what you need in the moment, because it can be different things that you need at different times. And that meditation that made you feel great one day might just be an annoyance on a different day.
Like maybe you need to dance it out and go crazy the next day, right? And other times you just need to be like, chill.
Exactly.
There are some days I literally just like go walk into my family room and I just lay flat on the floor and just lay there. And I'm like, I just needed to just do that.
Exactly.
Just need to get off my feet and just lay. Yeah.
I love it.
It's true. All right. So our next question for you is, so there are days as women that we wake up and we're not totally feeling like we've got it all together, or maybe it's been one of those mornings where it seems like everything's going wrong, just a bad day. What do you do to help you get through those days that are just not quite going your way?
Well, if I need to like actually show up and I can't just like shut myself off from the world, what I like to do is envision my day once it's done. So I actually worked with a coach and she gave me this tip. And if there's something really stressful that's going on in my life or something that I'm not looking forward to or I'm dreading getting through, she tells me to mentally picture myself, like sitting on the couch at the end of the day. What am I doing? How do I feel? And really tap into the feeling of it's done. I'm good. I'm there. And then sort of remind yourself that you're going to be there sooner than later. And the other thing I do is really like words of affirmation, just sometimes I need to say them out loud if I'm pumping myself up for something. Sometimes I just think of them, I'm strong, I'm brave, I got this, just those things to like mentally give yourself a good pep talk so that you can get going if you need to.
I love that, picturing the end of your day, getting to the end of your day. Cause really it is all about how we picture it, right? Like because if we're having a bad day, what we tend to be is like, oh, well, that just went wrong and that went wrong. Now everything, you know what I mean? We go
and we think about only the worst things that are happening. Like, oh, I'm going to be standing up talking to people, or I'm going to have to do this. Don't think about those things. You're going to get through those things.
Yeah.
Think about the end when you're like, I did a good job. I talked to everyone,
Yeah. I love that. I think that's a great idea. It's really important. Because, it's all about, and not only just visualizing, but like you said, even feeling it, like sitting down and being like, oh, that felt like that was a good day,
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that tool. Okay. So our next question for you is, what is a one life event? It could be a great one. It could have been a difficult one, but really an event in your life that's just really formed who you are today.
I think there's not like one defining moment, but I think the type of family I grew up in really has catapulted me into the type of person I am. I grew up with really entrepreneurial, philanthropic family members who really created this supportive environment for me to flourish, become what I wanted to become. And they really accepted that I needed to do all kinds of different things at once. So like some people might find that flaky or, non-committal, but like I would perfect one thing and then I'd be like, this is not my forever. Let's move on to the next thing. And all those things kind of together have turned into skills that I now use doing what I'm doing now and what I'm building now. And, had I not had that environment, that, space to really change, I don't think I'd be who I am today. I think I would be very stifled. I think I would be, scared to do things, to try new things. And I'm just very thankful for having that type of environment, because not everyone is as lucky.
No, it's great. Juliet and I talk about that a lot, because when I was growing up, you found a job and you did a career and that was it. Like you did that career. That's what you did. And none of this other stuff or these additional, whatever you want to call it, a side hustle. Whatever you want to call it. But now I even had this conversation with my son, who's 25, when he first graduated college and was going into the work world. And I'll never forget, he called me up one day. He took a job selling insurance, which we were like, okay, because, they grab a lot of these kids coming out of college to do that job, right? And I'm like, listen, give it a try. You never know. You could be amazing at it. He was like 2 months into it and he calls me up. He's like, would you be really disappointed if I quit this? I'm like, not at all. I'm like, listen, I'm like, I never want you to pigeonhole yourself and say, okay, this is it. This is what I'm doing. I said, because you are going to change and grow as you mature and as you get older, and what you're doing now may not be what you're doing 10 years from now. And that's okay. Like, it's all right. And I think it's, even my dad has no clue what I do, because he cannot wrap his head around the fact that I don't have a quote unquote job. I don't even know how to describe it. Like, I don't talk to him about my work at all, because he doesn't get it. He doesn't get it all. And I'm like, it's okay. It's all right.
That's fine. Yeah, exactly.
No, but I do love that.
A TED Talk. There's someone that has a TED Talk speaking specifically to this topic about.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and we need those people that are stable, because some people are stable like that.
Yes.
And then there's those of us that have to do 20 million different things. And we need both kinds of people to make life work. And so it's okay. You can be in either category, and it's completely okay.
Yes, just be yourself.
Yeah, but I think it's great that you were brought up in that environment, because I think that that's not as common. It is becoming more common now, but it's definitely not as common. So I think that's very cool.
I do too.
Very cool. All right. So if you wanted to leave our audience with one thing from our time together today, what would it be?
I think the one thing I would want everyone to walk away with is knowing that they should give themselves the compassion to grow and change and become whatever they want. We are allowed to change physically, mentally, and no one should ever feel like they can't change because they might have thought differently before. I used to think that, so I have to stick with this. we should grow, we should learn more things, and we really need to take away all the shame and guilt about that. We don't need to dwell on the past. We need to move forward, be authentic, and give ourselves compassion and grace to become what we're meant to become.
I love that.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Thank you.
So, Emily, thank you so much for being on our show today. It has been such a pleasure to have you. I was telling Allison before you came on the show, I'm like, just looking at your stuff, I had this idea of what your energy was going to be like, and it's exactly what I was imagining. You're
thank you.
This sweet, joyful thing. So loved having you. I hope everybody goes and checks out your book, and because it's definitely a message that all women need to hear. So thank you for being you.
Thank you.
We want to thank Alicia Boateng, our sponsor and creator of our amazing Voices of the Goddess mug. And thank you to our audience. And we know we wouldn't be nothing if we didn't have our audience. So we really appreciate you listening. And if you like what you heard, please subscribe, follow, like, share with your friends. All of that helps us boost us and keep us going. And if you want to get in touch with Emily, Allison, or myself, check out the show notes, our contact information, our social media, websites, all of that good stuff is in the show notes. And if you want to get Emily's book, I'm sure you can check out the show notes and find how to get that there.
And there it is.
And did I get everything?
I think you got everything. I think you covered it all.
All right. So with that, I want to wish everybody a magical day.
Thank you.